Okay, we're going.
Morning, Frank.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Perfect. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit, we had a little discussion a little bit before about, so you and I were talking a little bit about how you as the director of sales has been able to motivate your team by using our challenge system.
Yes.
And the way you as a director of sales used to do it before, how you do it now, as well as the motivation you use to kind of get your team to produce. So what I asked you to do is to kind of talk to me a little bit more about how you used to do it,
Sure.
how you do it today, and then talk about maybe some of your users that have really kind of embraced that by maybe showing me some of your screens in that. So.
Absolutely, Frank. Absolutely.
Perfect.
So as you will know, I mean, things start to kind of change. And so I can tell you just from the perspective, whether it's been a chalkboard or a whiteboard or some sort of walls. And in a second, when I take you on a tour, I'll show you, you have to go with your chalk and you have to go write up everybody's numbers. And then guess what happens? It's not in real time. So then so-and-so agent was like, my number's supposed to be that number. So it just becomes this constant thing. What's really great about Sisu is the fact that it's real time. And, as far as whenever the agent reports their KPIs, it automatically will reflect on the platform. So just a little bit about what we've been doing here in Austin, Texas. We, as you will know, during the summer months, it becomes two patterns, right? Agents either take off with their production and ride out the summer and have a massive amount of success at the end of the year from just, setting up their pipeline.
Sure.
You'll see agents just with lead fatigue and just, seeing the rest of society going on vacation. They start to do this, and then their pipeline, they won't pick up anything until January. So a few team meetings ago, I've noticed just when I was standing in front of my team and we're chatting, I could just kind of sense just some lead fatigue and just overall, just like, oh my gosh, here comes.
Yeah, so you conveyed that you saw that lead fatigue not only visually on the faces of your team, but like statistically, right? To see leads down, calls down, and so okay, yeah,
absolutely. Sure. And as their leader, I stand in front of them, and I have to. For me, I'm turning it on for them, and I've been in their shoes before. I know how that feels like. And so it was very important for me to convey to them that in this journey, I was going to help push them even more.
Right.
So I'm like, we're all in this together, guys, because if you're producing, I'm still checking contracts on the back end and making sure everything is airtight. So I had like a call to action. I said, this is definitely where the pedal hits the metal, and burnout is something that happens, but that's not going to happen right now. Let's try to figure out, a way for this burnout not to happen. And so typically on Fridays, I have a contracts class that starts at 9:30 in the morning.
Sure.
And I was stuck in traffic, come in here, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? It's the end of May. What am I going to do that is so fun that we can track? And so I came up with the 60-day challenge. We here at Watters have a 2 execution a month minimum.
Okay.
Like, what am I going to do to help these agents kind of have something fun and double down and just kind of ride out the summer in a very positive light? And so what I thought of was in downtown Austin, there's this historical hotel by the name of the Driscoll.
Sure.
It's been in some movies, I think Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock has a scene in there, like all in the back end. And it's also haunted. Like, it's one of the 10 places in Austin that has a haunted floor.
You did a challenge to your agents to scare the crap out of them. So
yes, like they're burned out, and let's just go give them like a nice weekend long.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
Downtown, that's off of Dirty 6th Street. All things to do. Hell, I mean, between Chris and I will probably get them a nice dinner at the hotel there. But and the amount of the amount that stuff that has started to come out of that has been very, very fascinating. I have one agent who has already put up 5 deals since June 1st.
Sure.
And the minimum is to have 8 executions from June 1st through August 1st. And this has already put up 5. So motivated beyond belief. I have one other agent who just executed a $1.2 million deal, quick close cash just for the GCI to hit that same
Sure.
metric.
Yeah, right.
So it's just nonstop, just a lot of good energy happening in the office right
Well,
now.
it's kind of like what you and I were talking about too, is every realtor's in the game to make more money, but at the end of the day, you're taking the money to buy a new car, to buy a boat, to buy freedom, to buy time. So
Sure.
you materialized of saying, you know your team well enough to know, hey, a physical stay in a hotel is something tangible that people can compete people can compete on. So sometimes
Absolutely.
that's even a better thing to put a tangible item in front of your team so that they can compete on it, rather than whether it's $500 or $1,000 to stay there. It's a tangible thing that you know about your team that motivates behavior. So that's a perfect way to do it.
Well, what's really perfect is about you guys' platform, because like what would take me, hours of writing these out, giving them to each 30, 20, 30 agents have, plus doing these little stickies, I'm coming from a, creative mindset too. And if you're okay, I'd like to show you what.
Yeah, show it to me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 5 minutes. And I had this amazing challenge due to you guys' platform. So I'm entering into what is the main buyer agent room. And as you will see, can you see this, Frank?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe back up just a little. Oh, so that's your active challenge board.
Yep, that is our active challenge right there. And let me go ahead and show you some stuff here. I'm going to minimize you here just a second. Okay, can you see that, Frank?
Scroll, maybe move your monitor camera down just a little bit so I can see it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. As good as we can get for a Zoom. But I can see an overnight stay at the Driscoll. Cool.
Yep.
Maybe it's a little fuzzy. So read me your top producer numbers off of that.
Sure. So for the GCI, we have Chelsea Lene at 1.2 million.
Yeah.
At Paula Winter at 440, 100. And then we have Matt Morales at 282. But over here at the overnight stay at the Driscoll, you see number one agent with 5 executions. And remember, this is just in 1 month's time. We have Aaron Robinson, Krista Campbell with 4, and then Chelsea Lene with 2, and Daryl, and it just goes down the way. So
you basically put a point value, because executions in your methodology is extremely important. So you put a point value to executions and a time overnight stay at the Driscoll.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Wow.
And then let me walk you over here, Frank. And here, we're going old school, right? We're old school where just the one.
That is old school. That's even real chalk in a chalkboard.
Yeah, of course, man. You know how we roll. So yeah, that's real chalk right there.
Yeah.
And again, the point of what I was saying about you guys' platform is this helps it in the direction of real time. Like, it literally took me 5 minutes to come up, input the information needed with this challenge, and then boom, it brings up all the numbers.
Right.
Boom, we have a challenge, right? And we had done something very similar probably about 2 months ago, where we have call nights on Tuesdays.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I like to make those fun too. Sometimes there's an Amazon gift card for the one that has the most, appointment set. But for one we've had is the one with the most appointments got to have lunch with Chris Watters.
Yeah. Chris was talking about that. you thought that's at least he's a good leader, right? That people
of course
go to lunch.
Yeah.
With, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was a knife fight. It was beautiful. I think the agent with the most ended up having 6 appointments set that night.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have some adult beverages that kind of help you, lose your, inhibitions and stuff. But yeah, that one. And we've also had an arm wrestling challenge too for lunch with Chris and stuff. So if there's anything just kind of during a team meeting and everybody, taking their turn at the table, we just try to keep things fun.
So from your perspective, you've seen some direct causation of using gamification as a sales leader, not just putting it in a chalkboard, but now you can actually gamify it, visualize it. So now if somebody's at home, for example, on the weekend and they want to see the status of their boards or the status of the challenge, they just go log in. They don't need to go look at the chalkboard anymore. So
that's right.
Cool.
That's right.
Cool.
It's just funny. It's just great what has, transpired, and what used to be and what is now. And so to you guys and the program, I think it's only going to get better and better. Like, I can't wait to think of my next one.
Well, I can't wait to listen to how well it works. So I appreciate it. Thanks for, I know you put a little bit of time into kind of thinking this through. And, I guess we put together this video essentially when you told me about this overnight stay challenge. So I really appreciate you being willing to kind of record it and walk through it. But,
of course.
But yeah, I think a lot of vendors and software companies throw out the word gamification all the time, but who a better group and target audience to gamify work other than salespeople?
It makes it fun. I mean, you're already getting told no by customers, you're told no by this, you're getting told, but you finally have the opportunity to put just a little bit of fun to it. It just kind of takes the sting off a little bit.
Yeah. How have your agents responded to, like you said, you were telling me before, they responded pretty, positively to this Driscoll, night.
Oh my goodness. I have some coming first thing in the morning, making their dials, booking those appointments. I had an agent book 8 appointments last week in hopes that, so it's turning into this wonderful thing. And it's not even about the Driscoll, right? It's also about success. I mean, at the end of the day, this is going to have a direct impact in their income. And it's amazing to see it. It's really amazing to see it.
Well, the cool part about real estate in general is you're not selling something that's going to take 18 months to see the fruition on the most part of the hard work. So they're working real hard. They're making calls today. They're going to see the results in today's market in a 30-day, 45-day, maybe 90-day, depending on the
90-day or less. Usually the pipeline's like a 90-day or less. So
so they get to see that real quick. So it's not like they have to wait for it. They can say, man, I remember when I was making all those calls. Look at my boards now. Look where I was today compared to where I was. That feels good as a sales leader for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys are definitely top of the industry. You and what Chris has built and the team he's built is definitely, you guys should be definitely very proud and commended for all your hard work, because you guys really deserve it. So.
Well, thank you, Frank, for your time today. And I'm going to keep you posted about who wins this. So
I want to see it. Maybe we do a video. We do a video, then maybe we can catch some paranormal spirits.
I know, right? Ghost hunters.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.